Overdrive. Today we bring you the Royal Enfield Bear 650, the latest generation of the Mercedes G63 AMG and the all-new sub-4 meter SUV from Skoda in India. Hello and welcome to Overdrive. I am Soinida. The Royal Enfield 650 Bear is the fifth iteration of the Royal Enfield 650 platform and is quite different from the Interceptor that it is based on. So let's find out what makes it so different.
As the winter months set in, Royal Enfield invited us to California for a taste of their fifth, or should I say sixth, creation of the 650 platform.
So we are in the United States, California to be specific. Now this region has a place called the Big Bear. I don't know if you've heard of it, but Big Bear is known for its arid landscapes, towering pines, the spirit of adventure and even desert racing. So I think it's the perfect setting to try out Royal Enfield's new beast, the Bear 650. In fact, we are going to be riding it in its natural habitat. And because it has all the bear necessities for an adventure motorcycle, let's see if this bear can roam around wildly and even attack those winding roads. So I think the styling is pretty spot on. I really like how they have done this plate. Now this plate cannot be removed. And if I have to go nitpicking, well, if your pillion is going to wear big riding boots, which ideally they should, in that case, this thing gets scratched very easily. Happened to a few of us during the ride. So that is one nitpicking that I'm going to do. But apart from that, I think if you're going to be riding solo with your bag on the back, I think it's just going to complete the look. It just looks brilliant. And for the first time, I actually don't have a favorite color amongst everything that is on offer because everything just looks good. Everything has something that is pulling me towards it. But if I had to choose, it would be the 249 because of the history that it brings to the table. 249 was Eddie's number when he won on a Royal Enfield for the first time at the Big Bear Desert Races. And as a homage to that, Royal Enfield is now putting that on a special edition, top of the line Bear 650, and I think they have done that really well. Apart from the number, what I also like is the painted chassis. That looks really nice. It has a hint of the Royal Enfield trials that they did a little while back. But this one looks a lot fuller with that bigger exhaust and that bigger engine. Now continuing with the design bits, what differentiates this from the Interceptor is of course the Scrambler intent, and that shows off in the design as well. What you get are those knobby tires, 19-inch front, 17-inch rear. You also get a higher ground clearance, and that also has a bearing on the kind of stance that this motorcycle has. It looks slightly better in the black color because you also get those golden forks, so it just makes it look a little beefy. But in every other color as well, it looks either sporty or very scramblery, off-roady. It's got everything going for it.
The Bear 650 sports upside-down Showa forks, similar to the Shotgun 650 but with longer inner tubes. At the rear, you've got conventional Showa shocks, none of that gas-charged business from the Interceptor, allowing 130mm and 115mm of travel front and rear, respectively.
Now these tires, they definitely deserve a mention. Yes, they have an uncanny resemblance to the Pirelli Rally STR. But I'm not complaining because out on the road, they performed quite well. Even off the road, they do quite well. So if you're in the market for these very sizes, and if the Rally STR was on your mind, but it wasn't really fitting your pocket, or if it wasn't available because of the problems that we're facing with tires right now in India, I think these MRFs are going to be an excellent viable option, and they're going to save you a ton of money as well.
The Bear 650 comes with a hollow front hub and a new front rotor while keeping the Interceptor's 320mm disc diameter. At the rear, there's an upgrade to a 270mm disc from the Super Meteor, up from the Interceptor's 240mm. Rider foot pegs are moved forward, with the handlebars slightly raised and pulled back for a more relaxed position, making it easier to stand on rough terrain. The rib seat, true to the Scrambler form, is flat but has a slight rear uptick. Royal Enfield has also strengthened the subframe and the neck of the chassis for better load bearing and to make it more rugged for off-road handling. Powering the Bear is the same trusty 650cc twin, retaining the Interceptor's 47 PS output but with an 8% boost in torque, now at 56.5 Newton-meters. Royal Enfield says that the whole torque curve has been lifted for a sharper throttle response. The Interceptor was never lacking in mid-range pull, but the Bear makes it better. The third gear lets you cruise at 30 to 40 kilometers an hour without a knock, while fifth gives you a smooth 50 kilometers an hour as well. Even off the road, that extra low-end torque helps tackle terrain, compensating for the Bear's hefty build.
At the same time, I want to test these brakes and these tires back home in India because like with the Guerrilla, we fell in love with those tires back in Spain, but when we rode the bike in India on our dusty conditions and it was also raining when we tested it, well, those tires started feeling a little weak. I want to see how the MRFs and these updated suspension components feel with the braking back home in the Indian conditions.
At the latest EICMA show in Milan, Royal Enfield has also showcased their very first electric motorcycle, the Flying Flea C6, which will launch in the country early 2026. That's something to look forward to. You can check out the walk-around video on the Overdrive YouTube channel as well. We'll take a very quick break here on the show, but coming up on the other side, we'll tell you all about the latest iteration of the Mercedes G63 AMG.